Now. Good evening, everyone. This is Veronica Burnett, your speaker, advocate, and coach, and welcome to a quick chat with me and my wonderful guest tonight, Donna Davis. I'm going to read you a little of her bio right now. If you are on my business page, Veronica B Speaks, or Veronica B Speaks, or Veronica Burnett Speaker Advocate for Healthy Relationships, you can share this video out. If you're in the Better Days private group, you know you have to join in order to gain all the other nuggets that's going to come after this, okay? And you can't share it out. I just wanted to say that just so you know. Also, we are live on StreamYard, so please grant StreamYard permission to see your name so that we can see who you are and what you're saying, and we can have a conversation and a dialogue with you, okay? I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to tell you a little about Miss Donna, and then I'm going to toss the baton to her because she has much to share with us tonight. So give me just a second. Miss Davis is a domestic abuse and poverty overcomer. She is CEO of D.W. Davis Consulting LLC, and she is an emotional transformation speaker and life coach that help women to acknowledge, confront, and evict unhealthy relationships they have with negative emotions. Women from all socioeconomic backgrounds have endured emotional issues for far too long and need tools to help them overcome. Her motto is evicting negative emotions because they do not pay rent. Hello. So listen, let's get ready. Um, we've been talking about repositioning ourselves, especially because 2021, the world is opening. It is basically all the way open. And if you did not pivot, shift, make some adjustments in 2020 when we had all of that downtime during quarantine, it is not too late. You can do that right now. You can reposition right now. We've been talking about it going into the reposition and thrive workshop, the 4-week intensive that's coming up starting on the 11th of July. And I brought Donna in because Donna knows exactly what many other women have gone through. And she's here to give us tools to help us get those negative emotions out of us so that we can thrive. So here we are, Donna. Tell us a little about yourself that I did not read because there's much that I didn't read, but tell us about yourself and then just why you are passionate about what you do.
Yes, thank you, Veronica. Thank you so much. Evicting negative emotions because they don't pay rent is so vital. They take up so much space that there's little room for anything else for who it is that we want to be. And these emotions that I'm talking about things like unforgiveness, anger, shame, embarrassment, low self-esteem. Oh my goodness. I know I have personally spent a humongous amount of time focusing on the negative things, even negative things that people have said to me that I have felt about myself. And then I said, you know what? This has got to end. And I am still in the process. But when we come through things, it is our responsibility to share those things with others. So let me tell you a little bit about why I am as passionate about evicting. Because when you evict, that means they can't come back. It's not a rotating door. Oh, I'm happy today, and then tomorrow I'm unhappy because I really didn't evict it. I just covered it up with stuff. I'm talking about getting rid of negative emotions. As Veronica said, I grew up in poverty. I was bullied all throughout school. And I was thinking about this recently. I did not have a best girlfriend my entire journey, K-12. I cannot point to one person and say, this was my best friend. I had so many emotional issues. And I thought that the best way to get out of poverty was to get married. you know? But I got married when I was 18 years old, but I was still in high school. I was a senior in high school, and I got married to escape poverty. And then I ran into domestic violence because something that people can tell about us, they can tell when our self esteem is low. They can tell when we need validation. And the type of validation that they give is false validation. So I wasn't necessarily poor anymore, but that was definitely a better state than where I found myself. So, as a survivor of domestic violence, and I don't call myself a survivor because to me, if I say I'm a survivor, I'm still holding on to some of that. So because I have let it go, I consider myself an overcomer. I am a domestic violence overcomer because I don't let those emotions that had me trapped at that time, I don't let them hold me back from who I am, who I could be, or who it is that I am yet becoming. But it was while I was being domestically abused. And I remember this one time specifically, I thought I was going to lose my life. And I had been cut off from my family members. Nobody care about you. You're just a burden, and you better be glad that I'm taking care of you and all of this stuff. I mean, just low self-esteem to the most. And in the midst of one of those times of getting beaten, there was something on the inside of me that began to swell up. And that thing told me, you were not created for this. You see you laying on this ground, you are not created for the ground. And I called that embers, because before I got married, I was full of fire and passion, and this is what I want to do. And then it was like the enemy did everything he could to crush my spirit. But one of the things that I did was I gave my life to Christ. I gave my life to God. And I knew that I was made for more than pain. I was made for more than how I felt about myself. And it was in that moment of being underground and being kicked and being beaten that I said, enough, enough. I wasn't made for this. I need to get up. And not just get up physically in that moment, because of course I couldn't, but I got up in my spirit and I said, I'm going to get out of this situation. And one of the things that keep people that are being domestically abused in the situation is fear. Where am I going to go? What am I going to do? I can't say anything about him. Everybody love him, and the list goes on and on. And I understood then that I was culpable in him doing what he was doing because I was protecting him. And I got to the point where I said, I am worth more than this. And I'm going to help free myself. And there's a long list of things that I went through, but I got out of that marriage. I stopped being physically abused. But then I realized that just because the physical abuse ended did not mean that the emotional abuse did not continue. Because every time I thought about it, it sent me cowering and it sent me into a dark place. And then I said, you know what? I need to release this. I need to release him. I need to evict these negative emotions. And I began to learn tools and processes so that those emotions would no longer have control over me, that I could talk about it and not feel the pain associated with it. And when I learned to do that, and I hear of so many other women struggling, not only with domestic violence, but even the effects of poverty, it affects your self-esteem. Being in the room and everybody looking at you and you feeling like your opinion don't matter. You feel like you don't matter. And I had to get rid of, I had to evict all of those emotions, because I know that God says that I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I'm made by his hands. So I'm precious, so I'm special. And that's the same thing with each and every one of us. And that is the premise of how I started my coaching business. I'm a coach. I do coaching one-on-one. I do group coaching. I'm a motivational speaker. There is nothing that we cannot do. There's nothing that you cannot accomplish, regardless of what someone has said to you. Listen, when we bottle up these negative emotions inside ourselves, do you know what happens? I'm going to tell you what happened. Your physical health, your spiritual health, and your emotional health take a toll. It takes a toll on you. And the person that did this stuff to you, the person that did this stuff to us, they are living their own life. You know, we're like, oh, he did that 10 years ago and I'm still mad at him, and he done gone about his business. No. Evict those negative emotions, because he still has control, whether you've seen him in the past 20 years or not. Don't give him that power. Do not surrender your power to anyone. And that's what we do when we hold on to these emotions. And shame is such a big one. You know, well, I did this or I did that. And, you know, I'm ashamed of who it is that I am. So I'm just going to stay in this situation, or I'm just going to cower and cry and do all those stuff. No, you are human. We are human. When somebody bring up a mistake that I made, I acknowledge it. The basis of my program is ACE: acknowledge, confront, and evict. And there are people that are always going to be looking for something negative in us. Maybe we need to evict some people out of our lives as well, in addition to the negative emotion. But I have no problems acknowledging when I'm wrong. I have no problems apologizing when I am wrong, because we all are wrong sometimes. And just because I appear confident, because I am, does not mean that I can't be wrong. You know, you're not going to attack my confidence by saying, aha, I caught you. You spelled that word wrong. Okay, that's fine. Everybody does something like that. It's about reframing how it is that we think about ourselves. We need to stop thinking about ourselves the way that somebody else thinks about us. Don't let their objectives, their goals, become your objectives and your goals. I talked to some women and I asked them, what is it that they want to do? What do they believe is their purpose? And they'll say, I don't know. I don't know what I really want to do. I don't know what my purpose is, because they spent so much of their lives emotionally attached to trying to make somebody else happy, trying to make somebody else's dreams come through, that we forget what our own dreams are. And I am here to say, nah, sis, nah, we were made for more than that. But we can't do it unless we evict what holds us back. If you say, I'm not happy, I'm not confident, I don't know who it is that I want to be, I don't have peace, because you don't have any room for peace or happiness or joy, because all the space is taken up with all of this negative stuff. And we can't just say, well, I'll just go shopping or I'll just have a girl day. All that is burying deeper the pain, the emotional stuff that just needs to be evicted. because we numb ourselves. Let me tell you, we numb ourselves with shopping and eating and just watching TV and just doing mindless things so we don't have to think about what the pressing issues in our lives are. And I am here, my sisters. I am here to help us deal with the hard things. Because it's only when we deal with the hard things that we can truly have the better days that it is that we're looking for. It's when we deal with the hard things that we can truly live our life with purpose. And anyone that says that it is easy is wrong. And they're not really going to help you. I know how it is to overcome being domestically abused and forgiving the person that did it to me. I know how it is to grow up in poverty and to be bullied all through elementary and high school and not have any real true friends at the time. Now, I have friends from high school now, but when I was in high school, we didn't have the type of friendship that we do now. So I help women to not depend on someone else to make you feel valuable, to make you feel worthy. Because you are worthy, because God called your name. It doesn't matter if you don't know who your mama is. It doesn't matter if you don't know who your daddy is. The purpose, just the reason that God created you and placed you in somebody's womb and you came forth and you're here right now means that he has work yet for you to do. And you are beautiful and you are valuable because he created you. He created you with purpose. So yes, you have purpose. And I am just so excited about the things that God have planned for you. And I want you to walk in those things. And yes, you will be afraid. And fear, guess what? Is a negative emotion. Could be a good emotion too, but more so is negative for us because we allow fear to hold us back. And I teach people to jump in the midst of fear because let me tell you something. If you're leaping, fear cannot exist in the air. And when you land, when you go forward, when you say, okay, fear, I'm not paying you any attention, when you get to where it is that you are seeking to be, you will realize that fear was just a mirage. It is not real. It's been holding you back and it has no power. And you only discover it when you acknowledge it, confront it, and when you leap, you evict it. And actually, it evicts itself because faith and fear cannot occupy the same space. So I am an emotional transformation life coach. I do my best work one-on-one. I do group work. I'm about to start a group program I was talking to Veronica about because this is what I'm passionate about. I am passionate about the purpose that is in us. And we don't even know all of what our purpose is. You know, if I were to ask you, what are your dreams and goals? You may say this, that, or the other. I really don't know. But I promise you, there is no way that you can capture everything that God actually have in store for you. But you can only do it from a place where the negative emotions are not in control. You control them and they don't control you. They don't control you. Thank you, Veronica. Thank you.
If they were a part of Kelly J's group, they would understand. Are you picking up the gems that she was putting down? I hope you took some notes. Um, this is so interesting because some of the things that you talked about today were things that I put in the newsletter about your purpose. And even if you don't know, it's okay because you have time to figure it out, but you have to step back. And like one lady said, meditate on yourself. Think about who you are and
Yes.
whose you are and who you were made to be. Literally, that was in there. Um, and so I'm reading this book called, I know you all have seen it, 100 Days of Believing Bigger. I love this book. I did not know that I would love it so much. And last night I read day 22. It says, you are capable. And so one of the things that you talked about tonight was, yeah, you can do this. It
Yes.
may not be easy, but you can do it. You can evict those negative emotions. You can start over.
Always.
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 Exactly. It starts with a decision. When you decide that this is what you want to do, nothing and no one can stop you. Nothing and no one can stop you. And even one of the things I mentioned was about think about, walk away from the things that's holding you back. And sometimes it's what you tell yourself. Sometimes it's and that's a negative
Emotion.
thought, a negative emotion. So one of the things that she asked in here is a journal. It says, how has self-doubt been holding you back? And what is the new story God is inviting you to write when it comes to your view of yourself? You can't get to that point if you're stuck in this negative space. If all you hear is those negative thoughts and emotions in your mind. And one of my friends said, sometimes you have to erase the tape that's in your head.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I posted something recently that said, "Your ears hear your words."
Yes.
So, and when we say negative things about ourselves,
Mhm.
we are reinforcing that
Yeah.
negative tape, as you just said,
Mhm.
because we believe us. And
Yeah.
the unfortunate thing is that what comes out of our mouth is from what somebody else believe about us.
And
Don't take
told
that
us.
stuff on. Let them have their opinion.
Yeah.
Oh, you think that? Oh,
Yes.
then that is you, but that's
Mm.
not me. And you know, Veronica, we were talking about affirmations. That
Mhm.
goes into affirmations and how we see ourselves. And, I call a lot of affirmations surface affirmations because it's the I am beautiful. And then you get in your car and you crying because you feel ugly. Like, what happened to the thing you just said 6 times? I'm beautiful. I call that surface affirmation.
Mhm.
I believe that we need to have deeper affirmations that I call declarations.
Mhm.
Because when you look in the mirror, why do you have to tell yourself you're beautiful? What is it about you that you don't see as beautiful? And I'll give you my example. I don't mind giving my example. So, we all go through this weight thing, up and down, all around. Well, I know when I'm getting bigger. And now the world is about to know when I'm getting bigger. Because it shows in my face. It shows in my chin. It's called a double chin. It's not as double as it used to be, but that used to be something that I was extremely self-conscious with. So when I wasn't feeling beautiful or didn't think that I looked good, it was because I saw this double chin. And I realized with my affirmation, I am beautiful, I am beautiful. I get in the car in the rear view mirror, woo, double chin. So beautiful, are we? But with my declaration, and this is one of the things that I'm teaching in my upcoming class, is that you have to declare how you see yourself. You have to speak to yourself. So when I look in the mirror and the double chin appears, because it goes away, comes back, it appears, I say to myself, wow, double chin, there you are. I know you can't resist this body because we are beautiful. But you know what? I'm going to embrace you and I'm going to accept you because you are here now, but you will not be here long. So enjoy your journey, girl.
I love that. I love that because it's not like you ignored it.
No, because
You acknowledged it.
I mean,
And then you gave it an expiration date and eviction notice.
eviction notice. Because
I
how
love
can
it.
we reject something that's a part of us? I mean, it's not like I can pull the double chin off. It's a part of me.
Yes. Yes.
So,
Yes.
accept it, acknowledge it, confront it, and evict it. And the only way to evict it, you got to know what the way is diet,
Right.
and exercise. If you're not willing to do that, you're not willing to do that.
Right.
Say, girl, you are perfect just the way you are. And I'm going to love you.
I love that you said that because you hear the word evicted and you think, okay, I'm just going to throw that out. But no, it is actually, you have to do something. You have to do some type of work, whether it's coaching, if it's exercise, if it's dieting, if it's getting more sleep to get rid of the dark circles under your eyes, if it is taking a daily regimen of vitamins so that you can have a healthier body. You have to do something.
Yes.
That's the part of eviction that we don't like all the time because we want it gone and we want it quickly, but nothing lasts if you don't put in the work. When you put in the work, you are not quick to let it go back. Now, I did with my weight, but I can get it back off. I know what it takes to get it back off.
Right.
But tell us about your how we can get your declaration cards and how we can stay in touch with you because it's getting a little late. I want my family, people, my wonderful tribe here to get their rest for tonight.
Yes.
But tell us how we can keep in touch with you and about your declaration cards.
Yes, my Facebook page is Donna Davis Presents. My website is donnadavispresents.com. And I'm still in the process of developing them. I'm trying to see, and I don't know if it can come in clear, but these are declaration cards, and you probably can't see it. I don't want to mess with my camera, but they come in sets of 10 and they are blank on the other side. So, as opposed to these affirmations that we do, these declaration cards, like what I said about my chin, I would write it on this card. So when I say my declaration, I don't have to say I'm not beautiful. I'm talking specifically to my double chin. It's going to mean more. It's going to stick with me more. And it's going to help me to erase that negative emotion so that one day I don't even need to say it. I'll be like, girl, you good. Girl, you look good. So on the back of the card is my slogan, which says evicting negative emotions because they don't pay rent. And then you write your declaration because whatever it is that we want to get rid of, we have to focus in on. Saying I'm beautiful and I'm worthy and all this stuff is general. What is it about you that make you feel unworthy? Let's unpack that and let's make a declaration around that. So if you would like to get the declaration pack cards, you can, when you go to my website, donnadavispresents.com, there's a pop-up that asks for your email address. So when they are ready to be on sale, I will send out an email and you can get it that way, or you can DM me on Facebook. I'm also on Instagram, Donna _Davis_presents on Instagram as well. And feel free to email me at dwdavisconsults@gmail.com. If you're interested in one-on-one coaching with me, you can reach me at all of the aforesaid locations, and we can set up a discovery call.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. All right, ladies, I hope that something said tonight can help you change the trajectory of your life. Take hold of these nuggets and implement them. Don't just write them in a book, actually implement them. And if you need help with any of the steps, you can reach out to Donna at any of the social media outlets that she has here, at her website, her Instagram, her Facebook. She's available by DM. So reach out to her, as well as email. Reach out to her. You will get the help that you need. And remember, you are capable of doing this. It starts with the decision. All right. So ways to reach out to me, you all know, right here on Facebook in the private group or on the business page. Also know that enrollment for the How to Reposition and Thrive 4-week intensive has already opened. Class starts on July 11th. I'm only taking 6 people, only 6, so that I can make sure I give you the attention and dedication that you need to work through the whole process. And I'm also hosting a live tomorrow at 8 p.m. So if you want information about that, to get the Zoom information, just send me an email or DM me here, and I will be happy to get that information to you. All right. Give me 1 second, y'all. So I'm here in South Carolina. I'm going to tell you that I'm here in South Carolina, and my daughter and my mom just came back home just in time. We're ending the show. Thank you all, and hopefully I get to see you next Wednesday. If you have any ideas or topics that you want to talk about, let me know. Send me a DM, and we will talk about them right here in the private Facebook group, the Better Days Facebook group. Invite your friends to join us, all right? All right. You all have a wonderful night. Ciao.